Hello and welcome to another one of our Member Spotlight episodes here at TEPSA Presents. I'm your host, Todd Neslony, the Director of Culture and Strategic Leadership here at the Texas Elementary Principals and Supervisors Association. I'm thrilled to spotlight tonight one of our members, Michael. Michael, thank you so much for being here. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are.
Hi, my name's Michael Joannou. I'm the assistant principal at Van Raab Elementary in Bernie ISD, which is in Region 20. And I'm a first-year assistant principal.
Hey, welcome to it. So, Michael, the first thing I love talking about when we chat through these member spotlights is obviously you were in education doing other stuff before you became an assistant principal. So tell me a little bit about your background and what all you've been doing.
So it's a bit of a unorthodox, long route into education. I started off as a teenager as a martial arts instructor. And we used to work with young people who are at risk of offending, and I teach teens the same age as me. Ended up getting contracts through that, and I started skipping school a lot because I got a taste for money and work, and I was enjoying it. So kind of flunked out of high school with one qualification. So after much arguing with my parents, decided to go to electrical school. Did that for 3 years and was miserable and realized I missed working with kids. So I managed to get a job as a learning mentor in an elementary school. Part of that was like attendance monitoring, which was funny, really, given my attendance the last few years. And we're kind of like what counselors do over here, but back in England, we were far less qualified. Did a few years of that and realized I wanted to teach. So I was fortunate enough to have a supportive admin who let me go to college 1 day a week to get my degree. And then I did my teacher training, taught for 3 years in England, and then moved out here when I got married to my beautiful wife, and been in Texas for come up to 5 years now.
That is fantastic. So, when I think of people who eventually make that leap into an administration role, sometimes there's a deciding factor that you're like, oh, I totally knew I was ready for it. And other times it was like, no, I had to have other people tell me that this might be something good for you. So when did you decide that an administrative role might be the path for you?
I don't think it was a really like a quick decision. There was a lot of transition, obviously, moving from London to Texas. And even my first year teaching, I remember they took us on instructional rounds at other schools. And I taught a very economically disadvantaged school, and going to other schools and seeing the facilities they had and what their kids had to utilize there. And I'd come back just kind of outraged, and I'd always be fighting the cause. And my mentor at the time would be, you're a leader. This is like, you're advocating for your kids. You want the best for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, then with the transition, I kind of started again. I mean, I got here and I didn't even know what a teak was. So kind of relearning the American way of doing things. And a couple of years into that, again, I had a very supportive admin who was like, hey, like, I think you should look at leadership. And I started off as a grade level leader, and then did my graduate course, and just been fortunate enough to have a lot of really supportive administrators to work under.
So, jumping into administration during COVID, I'm sure has had another layer of interestingness to it. So what have you learned a lot of this past year, just being your first year in administrative role?
Just flexibility for sure. I mean, you could plan anything down to a T and it's never going to go the way you planned it. You just got to be able to act on a swivel and just change the plan in an instant. So definitely flexibility has been the key this year, and just everyone looking after each other. I mean, we've had a complete new leadership team, lots of new teachers at our school. So we all kind of built that comradeship, and we're all in it together and just supporting each other through it.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, Michael, in these conversations, we always love to wrap them up with you leaving a tip, a resource, a tool, one of your favorite events that you've been a part of, whatever. You leaving something for our members who are listening. So what are you leaving with them today?
I've been racking my brain all day, and it's been a tough one. I don't think I have any words of wisdom, but just, I think, be intentional with your time. Definitely, like, we wear so many hats, so you've just got to plan it all out. I'm a list maker, so I'll write it all down, prioritize, figure out what needs to be done today and what can wait, because we will have those best intentions of fixing all the problems and helping everyone, but it's realistically, it can't be done. So just got to figure out what needs to be done now, and sometimes just say, hey, it's okay to leave this till tomorrow.
I love it. And that is such great advice, especially for this time of year. Well, Michael, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And thank you for coming on here and sharing with TEPSA today.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
And thank you everybody for listening or watching another episode. Make sure you join us this summer, June 8th through 10th at our TEPSA Summer Conference. You'll want to sign up today and join one of our master classes that we'll have there as well. We'll see you next week.